In the heart of Makusi, nestled between Asian baobab trees and rolling hills, lived a young girl named Chizaram. Her early life began in the bustling village of Makusi, where the aroma of jollof rice mingled with the scent of booming hibiscus. Chizaram's early years were filled with laughter and love, cocooned in the warm embrace of her parents, Rosemary and Nnamdi. Tragedy struck when Chizaram was just 10 years old. She lost her parents to an accident where a trailer collided with the bus they boarded, and no one survived. It was a miracle that her parents never took her with them as usual, but rather dropped her off at her grandmother's house, hoping to return soon. Grieving and lost, she was taken in by her grandmother, Mama Uzo Amaka, a wise and gentle woman who lived in a modest hut at the edge of the village. Mama Uzo Amaka's stories of the mischievous tortoise and tales of the strength of the lion comforted Chizaram and gave her hope during those dark nights. Mama Uzo Amaka taught Chizaram the rich traditions of their heritage, sharing tales of their ancestors and impacting wisdom about the land. Together, they tended a small garden, grew cassava and maize, and often sat under the shade of the Asian baobab tree, weaving baskets and crafting beautiful beadwork. But again, misfortune struck. Only a year after her parents' passing, Mama Uzo Amaka fell ill and eventually died. At 11 years, Chizaram found herself once again uprooted, this time sent to live with her auntie Nkechi, who resided in a distant village. Life with Auntie Nkechi was harsh. Nkechi, a stern and unyielding woman, saw Chizaram not as family, but as an extra pair of hands to help with the endless chores. From dawn until dusk, Chizaram toiled, fetching water, tending to the goats, and preparing meals. School, a place where she once dreamed of returning, became an unattainable luxury. Her days were filled with labor and nights with silent tears. As Chizaram grew older, she harbored a desperate yearning for escape and education, but the suffering only increased by the day, and Nkechi never changed. Sometimes she would starve Chizaram for just forgetting to complete the tasks she ordered her to do, or flog her because her children said they had a nightmare where Chizaram chased them with a broom. This series of maltreatment continued till Chizaram turned 18. Here, she met a man named Elvis when she went to sell some goods in the market. Elvis, a merchant from the nearby town, saw her and instantly was drawn to her by her beauty and calmness. He approached her, bought a few items, and started a conversation. In 2 months' time, Elvis promised her a future she had longed for. He promised Chizaram to send her to school if she agreed to marry him. Being in love and believing it was heaven sent, Chizaram accepted his proposal, her heart mixed with fear and hope. Yet, she told herself that this was the only way of giving herself and her future children a better life. Life with Elvis was all rosy after their marriage. He gifted her beads and clothes and made sure she never overworked herself. She attended evening classes, her mind absorbing knowledge like a thirsty plant soaking up rain. But soon, the true nature of her marriage began to unfold in their second year of marriage. Elvis' promise turned hollow as he grew increasingly frustrated with Chizaram's inability to conceive. He would shout at her and slap her most times, blaming her for their childlessness. This continued and Chizaram endured, having no one to turn to and ask for help. The slaps turned into blows that would leave her unconscious for hours. Chizaram's dream of education and a happy family were shattered as Elvis took a second wife, Chika. In no time, Chika bore him a son, and Elvis laughed loudly, ascertaining that he knew Chizaram was the worst mistake of his life. Cast aside and broken, Chizaram was thrown out of the house on a sunny afternoon when she had forgotten to quench her firewood properly, and Chika's child had wandered and injured himself. She was left to wander the streets with nothing but clothes on her back. Homeless and pained, Chizaram refused to give up to despair as she sat under a mango tree, crying. Under the tree, a woman approached her, introducing her to a woman's shelter run by a compassionate woman named Ifeoma, who had dedicated her life to helping women in need. At the shelter, Chizaram began to rebuild her life. With the help of volunteers, she resumed her studies and found solace in the company of other women who had endured similar hardships. Chizaram's determination and resilience bore fruit over the years. She saved enough and started schooling part-time. In a few years, she graduated from school, earning a degree in social work. Her journey of healing led her to Buchi, a kind and supportive man who cherished her for who she was. Despite being scared of being unable to bear a child, Buchi assured her that he would cherish her forever and would accept it if that was their fate. They married in a small, joyful ceremony, filled with love and surrounded by friends who had become a new family. Their marriage waxed in love by the day, but still, Chizaram was afraid that Buchi would leave her since it was over a year since they got married. But Buchi never complained. On a cloudy morning, in their second year anniversary, Chizaram fell ill. She shivered, vomited, and felt restless. These changes made Buchi afraid, and he had to quickly drive her to a nearby clinic. It took a few minutes to calm Chizaram down, and soon she fell asleep. It was in about 3 hours when the doctor called Buchi outside of the room. "Congratulations, Mr. Buchi. Your wife is pregnant," the doctor said, smiling. Shocked, Mr. Buchi gulped the saliva in his throat. "My wife cannot be pregnant. Please, check again, sir." The doctor laughed, handing him an envelope. "She will need so much rest and possibly register her for antenatal care in our headquarters hospital. She is indeed pregnant. Congrats," the doctor said again. Happy and excited, Buchi went into Chizaram's room and broke the news to her. Chizaram screamed, dancing and crying. "How can a barren woman be fruitful? How?" she asked, crying and hugging her husband, who was also in shock at the news. "God has heard our cry and has favored us," Buchi said, and Chizaram nodded in agreement. "God is good." 10 months later, Chizaram's joy knew no bounds when she gave birth to triplets, 2 boys and a girl, named Soma, Kosi, and Kamara. The news of their newfound happiness spread quickly, reaching even Elvis. Consumed by guilt and curiosity, he sought out for Chizaram and begged for her forgiveness, revealing that tests had shown he was not the father of Chika's child and that he was impotent. Seeing Elvis' remorseful attitude, Chizaram remembered the lessons of forgiveness and compassion she had learned from Mama Uzo Amaka. Despite the pain he had caused her, she forgave him, understanding that forgiveness was a path to her peace. Chizaram's story became a story of motivation for many in her village and town where they lived. She used her education and experience to help other women, advocating for their rights and providing support to those in need. Her life, once marked by tragedy and hardship, blossomed into one of strength and resilience, proving that even the darkest clouds can have a silver lining. Chizaram's work at the women's shelter grew, turning it into a haven for abused and homeless women. He partnered with local NGOs and international organizations, bringing in resources and creating educational programs. The shelter offered skills training, legal assistance, and counseling, empowering women to take control of their lives. Years passed, and Chizaram's shelter became renowned throughout the region. A triplet grew up in an environment filled with love and learning, embodying the values of compassion and perseverance their mother had instilled in them. Thank you for watching. This is Savannah Tales by Ego. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We anticipate seeing your comments in the comment box. Thank you.